What a strange offseason it's been so far, and technically, it's only been a couple days that the official offseason has begun for the Houston Texans. If you're new to the channel, we are Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel covers teams that don't get the love nationally. We like talking Houston Texans because they're in the same state as the Dallas Cowboys. We don't like the Dallas Cowboys, so we talk about the Texans. So you get an unbiased look into your team. And here's what I'm seeing again, outside looking in. What an exciting offseason that we knew it would be, just because you have the quarterback, you have the coach, you have the culture, the franchise is in the right direction. So it's like, what pieces can we add? Also, your quarterback is on his rookie deal. So it's like, we got a little money. Let's see what we can do. So, as a recap, really quick, look at the exciting stuff. Daniil Hunter, what's up? Dude just looks like a mold of a edge rusher that you would just design in a lab. Look at that guy. Love him. Went against him so many years with the Lions. It's just like, dude, this guy. Joe Mixon, what a great deal. We made a video about how Joe Mixon signing trade was so perfect. You let all those running backs, DeAndre Swift, you let him go get overpaid. You let the bigger names go, and you kind of sneak in and get Joe Mixon. Awesome. What a great running back. Another one was D Ford here, or Mike Ford, excuse me. Mike Ford, we talked about him. Very solid backup corner type of guy that you get really manageable. Jeff Okuda, same thing with the Lions. Man, if he ever gets in the right situation, he'll be really good. But then things start getting weird, and you guys know where I'm going with this, but there's a couple weird things, okay? So the first thing is, it's the in this, I love this headline. So the Houston Texans post trade 7-round mock draft. Houston's frustrating but long-term trade mixes up the draft board, and that is exactly what it is. So by now you already know the trade, but the Texans move out of the first round for a second round pick kind of this year and then the next year, and it's just kind of like, oh, that's weird. We just fell 20 picks and we got like an extra second. Like, it just doesn't seem like enough. It seems bizarre. It just doesn't seem enough. The next thing that's bizarre about it is, why now? If that was a killer deal, then it's like, oh, sweet, pull the trigger. But it's like, that's not that good of a deal. Let's wait till we get closer. Let's wait till draft day. Let's wait until you never know what could happen from now to the draft. Why make that trade now? So there's one more bizarre move that we're going to talk about. But first, let's look at now post trade what you would get. You'd get Tavondre Sweat. Good. Out of Texas. I mean, awesome. You'd get the linebacker Cooper out of Texas A&M. So two guys you guys know well from Texas and Texas A&M. Then you get a corner out of Rutgers and a running back. I like him, Bucky Irving, round 4. Then you have another pick in round 4, and that's when you get an offensive tackle. And then you skip to pick 6 or round 6. So this draft all of a sudden is just kind of like, a couple fourth rounders extra, so it's just, it doesn't feel right. Again, this is from the outside looking in. So I'd love to know your comments, where you start off feeling so good about this offseason, where things are going, and then in the draft where you really build in the draft. That is where it all goes down. You just kind of give away that premium pick, and now will those premium guys, you want at least one just like starter, stone cold starter, will they still be there when you pick at 42 or whatever it is? Now the next thing was the Texans trade Malik Collins, defensive tackle. Man, and so this sounded like the 49ers are trading a 7th round pick. He's 29. He's been the starting defensive tackle for the last 3 years. However, when they get all of these players, they don't need Collins anymore. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, Houston Texans fans, but it sounds like, all right, you probably were going to release him, but man, trading somebody for a 7th round pick is so just like, are you kidding me? So it's been an offseason, a tale of two halves, if you will, where the first part of this, I didn't have this pulled up, but yeah, I was looking at, they trade a 7th round pick for Malik Collins. And again, I'd like to know your thoughts, Houston Texans fans, because man, I was like so excited for the Houston Texans with all the action that was happening in the beginning of the first couple days of the tampering period, and then some odd trades, some just kind of like, man, take the wind out of our sails. And it's like, are the Texans getting a little too cute? Would be the word. Just stay. I don't. And again, because the trade happens so far in advance, it really feels weird because you only make that trade if it's a no-brainer. So Vikings are thinking to themselves, yeah, we'll just make this trade today. Why not? Why wait? Why? But the Texans, when you're the team on the bad end of it, it's like, oh my gosh, because what happens from now until the draft is teams are talking and going through scenarios. Hey, what would it take to move up here? What would it take? Not let's do it right now. I don't like that, and it's frustrating. But with that being said, the Texans are still miles ahead of so many teams. As you look at other teams doing things, Commanders, Panthers, geez, who else is just doing things just incorrectly, and they don't have quarterbacks on top of it, is you look at your team and you're like, oh my gosh, we have the coach, we have the quarterback. So our GM can kind of mess up once in a while, and it doesn't hurt us. There's other teams that they cannot make mistakes. They have no margin for error as they're building their teams. Lions were like this for years, making mistakes, and you just kind of, and then you get Stafford, and that was cool, but the culture's not there, the coach is not there. So it was just a fumble, cumbersome thing for years. But with the Texans, it feels like this mistake is not that bad, and you can overcome it. And you know what? Fine, you get an extra pick. It's next year, so that kind of sucks. So next year you're gonna have a first, 2 seconds. It'll look better, but it's frustrating, and it should be frustrating because I keep talking about the window that the Texans are in because of Stroud and his rookie deal. You've struck gold, and you have to take advantage of it. So to push out picks, in one sense, you could say we can afford to do that because we have our quarterback. In the other sense, like we can't because we want to win now. We have the quarterback. Let's go win. And it's just like, man, what a weird trade now. I hate that. And I keep beating a dead horse. So again, if you're new to the channel, hopefully you like this enough where you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 20,000 just to legitimize us, right? So you look at us and like, oh man, these guys have 20,000 subs. They must be all right. And let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we will see all of you on the next one.